10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5.
Hi everyone, it's Darian Simona Harvin here with another episode of Am I Allowed to Like Anything? And this week I have a conversation with Maritza Alarcón, and I met Maritza in the moment that we met. We instantly clicked. She's been a dream director at the Future Project and is the co-creator of M.O.V.E., a youth organization that works to increase college enrollment rates in New York City public high schools. She's also been honored as one of Glamour Magazine's 20 Amazing Young Women, which is very impressive if you ask me. So right now, Maritza is working on a book. It's titled I Am Happiest, and I'm sure you can guess what it focuses on. So what we do is we have a great conversation about the tools to keep yourself happy. As always, tweet me. Let me know what you think. Am I Allowed to Like Anything is on iTunes. Enjoy. First of all, I love how we met, which was through Sarita, so shout out to her.
Shout out to Sarita.
And I wanted to talk about what I feel like is very much has to tie back with your book, and really like kind of the vibe that I get from you is like finding your purpose and also kind of running with that. And so I feel like for you, a lot of that has been through like kids and in the youth and kind of your own experience growing up in New York, and also what you've done to kind of help other kids. How did you find your passion within like youth empowerment?
Yeah, so it goes back to a specific time in college when I wrote down all of my dreams on a list.
Mm-hmm.
And in that list, I wrote down one of my dreams out of many that I wrote down.
Yeah.
Was that I wanted to walk into the arms of children every single day and make an impact on their education. And that dream ended up manifesting in various ways,
mm-hmm.
right? So the way that it manifested perfectly was when I became education director at the Boys and Girls Club in Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
And I would walk into the clubhouse every single day knowing that all of my hours were going to be dedicated on transforming their life through education. Right?
Yes.
And also just walking into the clubhouse every day, and all the ages that were there were from 5 to about 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5-year-olds would come swarming around me and give me these hip hugs. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted to walk into a place that thoroughly appreciated me and that I actually made an impact on them through education. And I got to do that, and it was such a sweet spot.
Yeah. And how did you even end up getting that job?
Well, do you want the short story or the long story?
The long story.
So I'll give you the long version in the quickest way I can, though, because it's such a... I'll start with the first answer, which was networking with my mentor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the context is the longer part. So the context is that I just went to Ghana for a couple of months to go live life without a long agenda. And I did that for a couple of months in West Africa. And I knew that when I was going to Ghana, that I was going to be unemployed when I came back from Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back from Ghana, I said, okay, what dreams do I want to manifest now? And it was one of the dreams on the list, where I walk into the room and I receive these hip hugs and I get to transform their education. So then I came back from Ghana. I literally just reached out to my network in emails, and one of my mentors responded, and he was like, I'm going to introduce you to somebody here in Atlanta, Georgia, who might be able to support you. And that person ended up sending an email to the Boys and Girls Club.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like simple things are when sometimes we make them so complicated in our head, when really you just went out on faith and reached out to some people who you felt might be able to help you.
I do want to I do want to reiterate though, I knew exactly what I wanted. And that was due to the dream list that I created when I was in college. And so all I did really was look at the list and say, which one would I like to manifest now?
Yeah.
Right? So I knew what I wanted, and so I think that's what makes it effortless.
Right. And even the fact that you went to Ghana, you very much strike me as somebody who it doesn't bother you that you don't have like a 10-year plan or even like a 5-year plan. Like you have your dreams and you have your goals and that's what you're focusing on, but you're not very caught up in being someplace at a very specific time.
That's a good way to put it. I also see it to add on to that, I add a different perspective to it, where it's like my dreams and my visions, the ones that I create in my mind and the ones that are given to me through like sleeping, right? Those dreams and my visions, those are the things that I go for. Meaning, those are the plans,
Yeah.
right? Those, to me, they're very detailed. To me, they're very thorough, and in my mind and on paper, they're very thorough. So for me, they're a huge plan.
Right.
And I think you say it perfectly when you say they're not attached to timeline.
And so I guess kind of, like fast forwarding to today, like now you live in San Francisco and you're working on a book and you're writing. And when did you decide that this was like something that you wanted to do? Because I feel like writing I Am Happiest is like what you're truly focused on right now.
Right. So I'm very fortunate to be able to say that I live in California and I get to create a book and I get to create a brand. Right.
Right.
And I got to live in different parts of California already. And what I remember when I made that choice to move from Brooklyn to California is that it was actually last year. And last year I came to California on vacation just to receive some sunshine. And in that process, I fell in love with California in a way that when I got back to New York, I already knew that I was going to do everything in my power to move to California as quickly as possible.
And why was that?
And the why is because I felt like if you can imagine the United States map visually right now, and imagine me in Brooklyn, and imagine California on the opposite side of the country and a huge magnet that's shaped as a U pulling Maritza from Brooklyn to California. Mm-hmm. It was this huge pull and this undeniable attraction. This knowing that this is what's going to happen, and this is the only option.
Right.
It's like when you know. And I compare it to what people say when they speak fondly about their life partner, and they're like, "I just knew," right? Mm-hmm. I had a very similar feeling when I just knew that California was the next place to go to, and it was just this fearless feeling.
And so tell me more about your book and how it's been going and kind of what really truly inspired you to write it.
So the book has been going really well, right? So what I realized is that writing a book was a brand new field and a brand new industry for me. Mm-hmm. Therefore, there's a huge learning curve in that process, right? And one of the things that I learned in that curve is that the first step is to write a book proposal.
I truly wouldn't have known that either, because I feel like it's like, okay, you write, but I guess there are all of these like business parts to it that you should take into consideration too if you'd like to make money off of your book.
If you like to publish it.
Yeah.
Right? If you like a publishing house to publish it. If you like that option. Right. And so what I did at first, though, you're right, is like I just wrote. And all this content was pouring out of me, and it still continues to pour out of me. And I feel so blessed to be able to say that, right? And it's just this flow that is endless. At any rate, I then realized shortly after that the book proposal was then the next step, which meant to synthesize everything and actually create an outline, right? And create book titles, and create chapter titles and create chapter summaries and so on and so forth. So that's where I am. And that's where I really look forward to completing the first book proposal within the next few weeks.
Yeah. So and you're in the early stages.
Yeah, it's always an early stage for me, though. It's like such a journey to write a book.
Yeah.
And some people can do it within a month and just self-publish, and some people can take years to write a book. So everybody's different.
And so obviously going along with that, something that I know I was really glad that you brought up talking about tools to be like your happiest self and really like your most fulfilled self. And I think that's really important for a few reasons. I think number one, I mean, obviously it sounds so like meta, but it's like, well, everybody is looking for something to make them happy. It might be in a thing, it might be within themselves. Like really that's what we're all trying to do every day. We're trying to find that within our career, through other people, through relationships, through things, through religion or spirituality. So like, what are some of those tools like to be your happiest self, and what has really worked for you?
My goodness, so the toolbox is another thing that's endless,
yeah.
Right? And I recommend and invite people to create such a tremendously long list of tools that they're armed with everything, no matter what the situation is, be it a romantic one, be it a spiritual one, be it an emotional one, be it a mental one, be it a transition, a death in the family. I feel like people can be armed with the tools if they practice, if they make it a practice, right?
Right.
And I think that's so important because so many unexpected things can happen in our lives that are really outside of our control. And sometimes things are controllable and sometimes things aren't. And there's so many situations where your toolbox, even if you have 100 things in there, you're going to need a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just to get through the day.
Yeah.
Right? And just to get through the next hour sometimes. Really depending on your situation. So I invite people to create a large and long list. And so one of the things that I use, right, is like I have different categories. So if you can, I'm a visual learner. So if you can visualize a list that says like audio, so those are my like YouTube clips that I go to, right? So let's think like digital world. In the digital world, you have your iPhone. Well, I have my iPhone. I have my home screen, and in that home screen, I have a whole bunch of audio clips that I go to if I need them.
Right. Oh my God, I've never even thought to do that before. Just like inspirational videos and even podcasts, I'm sure.
Exactly. So people can add your podcast to the home screen and just press play if they feel like they want it or need it, right? And it's something that's quick, and it's something that you can do in your car if you have Bluetooth. It's something you can put in your headphones if you have, service, right? So to me, that's one of my favorite tools. I use it specifically in the morning and in the evening. So in the morning before I rise and in the evening before I close my eyes. I wake up to inspiration that's controlled. So I control the inspiration feed, right? That I'm receiving. So as soon as I open my eyes, something is going to be turned on in terms of audio. And then at night, I do the same thing. And so at night, I'll maybe read something inspirational. If I have enough energy to leave my eyes open, I'll read a book that is inspirational on my iPhone. So nothing spectacular, right? But it's super easy and super, what's the word? Just like it's in your fingertips. You really have no excuse besides just doing it.
Right. I'm curious to know if there are any like apps that you use, like apps on your phone.
So to be quite honest, my biggest like indulgence is Pinterest. Pinterest can be a life changer. I think, I think if you use it wisely, it can be. And I had no idea until I actually started playing with the app how much it could really shift things. So for me, it's like I'll go there for the typical things like great food or great exercise tips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or great fitness and health little maps that they make, right?
Yeah.
But then there'll be a topic that I have no idea about that somebody just told me about and never heard of, first timer, rookie at it, but I want to learn something quick about it, and there's a million and one things about it there. And so it's like Google, but it's like Google quickness. It's with images and with videos as opposed to long, drawn out articles.
Yeah.
So I really like Pinterest. And I know one of the things that we can talk about is the things that we like.
Yeah, I know, seriously. And I was going to say, I actually love Tumblr. I have a Tumblr that I don't have a lot of followers on it. I don't even think I have 100 followers, but I use it all of the time. And it's just very therapeutic to scroll through, and at night before I go to bed, or if I'm just kind of in a very emo mood, I'll go on Tumblr and just find inspiration or just very calming photos. And I feel like both of those can be great tools.
Exactly. So your Tumblr is my Pinterest.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And are there what about favorite books?
The books that I feel like I can give away all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my number one is The 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. And then The 5 Languages of Apology by Dr. Gary Chapman.
Wow, I've heard of The 5 Languages of Love, but not of what is it? Of forgiveness?
Of apology.
Of apology.
Yeah, 2 things that I did not learn when I was a child, and 2 things that I definitely am still learning as an adult.
I want to know, what is your dream right now? You talked about how you have this list of dreams and in this arsenal of dreams that you are going to accomplish one day. So what are you maybe focusing on right now? What keeps you awake at night? What do you think about every day?
I think about something that's actually not written on the list, right? So that dream list is something that is more of the starting point. Right? That's the default go-to. There's so many other dreams that are so not written down on that list that I have, right? And because it keeps things open, and I'm open to the possibilities of dreams that I haven't even dreamt of yet.
Right.
Right? Which is so much more powerful than what I've experienced on that list. So that's just the starting point. That's point A.
Yeah.
In the alphabet from A to Z. So one of the things that I dream about now, right now, is the possibility of time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom all at the same time right now.
Okay, I'm giving you a virtual high five right now, because that is 100% that is really what keeps me up at night. It's how can I do that? And I honestly feel like I'm getting there in weird ways. Location freedom, I kind of feel like I have. I was talking to my dad. I was actually texting him, and my phone is going off right now. I should have turned it off. But he's texting me, and I was I think I want to come to Buffalo this weekend. And I'm in a position where I can go to Buffalo over the weekend, and I can leave on Friday, or I can leave on Thursday, and I can come back on Tuesday if I want.
Yeah, so you and I both have that feeling.
Yes.
And that desire, right? I want to make a t-shirt out of it. And give it to my friends who feel the same way.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's I feel like so many of us want that and are looking for that. I definitely can't be in an office during prime hours of the day any longer. But you would have to pay me. You might be able to pay me for a month, and then I'm probably going to quit, because I'm I can't do it. I have to be out experiencing life when I feel like life is happening. I need to be able to lay in the park when it's sunny,
Yes, agreed. And I just did that yesterday at Stanford. I had a real, actual, true picnic, and I was kite flying with kids and with my family, and it just felt so good to do that, right? Because life is happening outside, not necessarily inside of a office building.
Right. At least for us, it's not. And financial stability has been harder, but working on it. That takes time, depending on who you are. And what was the third one?
Time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom.
Yes. And I feel like time and location are very much intertwined too. So
sometimes, like I say it all because I want it all.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm sure there's more out there that we don't even know about yet. Like what else? What's another type of freedom that we can have?
I know. Like what else? What other types of freedom can I have?
What we don't know? Like what we don't know, right? It's so immense. So if you find something, let me know.
I know, I will. I'll text you. I'll text you like technological freedom, like something super cool. Okay, so let's move on to, this is actually my favorite part, I feel like, of all the podcasts I do, are the +1 segment, because it allows you to really give a shout out to something that you love. That, it can be a person, a place, an experience, a restaurant. So I want to know, for you, what's your +1?
So I have to say Sarita Gates right now.
Oh my God.
SaritaGates.com. Hashtag Sarita Gates.
At Sarita Gates.
At Sarita Gates, the Twitter. I haven't spoken to this lovely soul in some time, but she and I have had enough conversations in the past few years for her to know that I really appreciate her, and I have to shout her out for that. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing that I feel like deserves a huge shout out is SoulCycle. SoulCycle for me has done so much already, and I can't believe it. It's done this much, let me tell you. Like,
I'm cracking up right now because people literally like live and die by SoulCycle. It's like I hear the gospel at least once a week. So continue. It's Monday, so this is my first time.
So I started taking SoulCycle. Okay, so just for everybody who's new to it, SoulCycle is indoor cycling across the country.
Yes.
And when I was living in New York a couple of years ago, I started taking it. And I got hooked, and every chance that I could get, I would go. And they have several locations in New York. And what it's done to me since then, since like years ago, is that I like it so much that I ended up becoming certified as a spinning instructor, just so that I can experience spinning more and more and more and more. Mm-hmm. Right? And then, and so now I'm a spinning instructor here in Silicon Valley as part of my fitness life.
That's amazing.
It is. It is. And I could talk about SoulCycle a lot. But just to sum it all up, it's one of the happiest exercises and fitness routines that I can think of and that I've experienced so far. Hands down.
I actually love to work out. And what really got me into the momentum of working out, well, first of all, and this is honestly going to be my +1, but my dad is really big on working out. He's super, super fit. He works out like twice a day. Like in the morning, he'll do spin, and then at night, he might do weights or something like that. Just very, very, I think that for me, especially living in New York, fitness and working out literally keeps me sane. It's like one of the things in my life that I feel like I really have full control over, where it's like I can control when I go, how much I work out or push my body. And it's like, it's so great. But I've been using ClassPass for probably like, are you familiar with ClassPass? So ClassPass is awesome. It ranges depending on the city, but I know they definitely have it in San Francisco. But in New York, for $125 a month, you get to sign up for classes who participate in ClassPass. So really, ClassPass is a platform where a bunch of different fitness boutiques in New York participate, and really there are hundreds of them. And instead of signing up through the site, through their individual site, you sign up through ClassPass, and it's unlimited. And so it's interesting because $125 for a month of going to classes, it's like you could really go to like 3 or 4 classes in New York, and that's $125. So I love it. I love the concept, and I really feel like ClassPass is also putting people who would not typically be in the spaces of some of these fitness boutiques that are really high end and really expensive in those places. And I really believe that that's what should be happening. So, I don't, fitness isn't, fitness shouldn't be a class thing. Like everybody should be working out. Anyone should be able to go to a fitness class no matter how much money they make. So I really feel like they're helping to do stuff like that.
Oh, I like that. Does SoulCycle include as one of those clients?
No, I wish they did. I feel like SoulCycle's never gonna. I feel like they don't need ClassPass because they have such a robust following that I don't feel like they're ever gonna be on ClassPass. It's not like they really need it.
True, but it would be a great opportunity
It would be a
for
great
other people to get in on it, on like the experience of SoulCycle. And it's one of the reasons why I became a spinning instructor too, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna need X amount of dollars in my bank account to experience SoulCycle as much as I want.
Right,
right,
right. So, but yes, I love working out. And I used to work out, and what I actually like to do is I'll work out during the day, and then I'll continue working, and it helps to keep you focused. Like it kind of helps to hone in back on your focus. So that's why I love it.
And then you just feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look so good.
No, seriously, like your face will just like clear up, like you'll look brighter, you'll look happier, your energy level's better. So yeah, I can't complain. Well, this has been fun. Look, 32 minutes. We did so well.
Oh.
Exactly. Round of applause to us. Okay, we'll stay on the line because we can continue talking. But do people ever tell you that you look like, I'm blanking on her name, but the girl who in oh my god, I'm googling Jane the Virgin.
Can you send it to me in Skype?
Yes. It's a show. It's like a really successful show. The young woman who I believe that you look like Gina Rodriguez, and she plays. Yes, she plays Jane on Jane the Virgin, which comes on CW.
Look at her. That's a first. Thank you.
Yes. You should honestly watch that show. It's a good show.
I will.
It's actually a really good show, so.
If it's on YouTube or something like that, I will.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah. I'm going to let you go. Finish the rest of your day. This was so nice.
Likewise, honey. Enjoy. And we'll talk soon.
Okay, sounds good.